This man's name was Adam Jones. 3 years ago, he was the head chef at a well-known restaurant in Paris. The restaurant belonged to his mentor, Jean-Luc. Sadly, his success and achievement in his career vanished at his peak. Adam was addicted to drugs and in debt with drug dealers. Thanks to this incident, the restaurant's reputation plunged into a hole of destruction, and as penance, he secretly punished himself by peeling shells 1,000,000 times. After completing his penance, he went to London to welcome his new life back. Upon his arrival in London, he went straight to Tony Balerdi, the man who used to be his manager in Jean-Luc's restaurant. Now, Tony had his own restaurant, and without much ado, Adam asked Tony to give him the opportunity to take over his restaurant as the head chef. Adam, who had high ambition, wanted to pursue back his dream of becoming a 3-Michelin star chef. Sadly, remembering how dark his past was, Tony of course rejected him outright. Adam then went to his friend's restaurant named Conti. He told Conti that he was now clean of drugs. He planned to return to become the head chef at Tony's restaurant. In the middle of the conversation, Conti gave him the news about Jean-Luc that had died. Adam, who found this fact, was immediately stunned, and to divert his sadness, he immediately ate his food. He was amazed at the deliciousness of the food. He immediately met the chef who cooked the food, who turned out to be a chef named Helene. A chef who didn't realize that she was talented in cooking. A few days later, Adam accidentally met his old acquaintance in Paris named Michel. Upon seeing Adam in front of his eyes, Michel immediately chased after him, who had started running before him. He would never forget Adam's cruelty when he released some rats at the same time when the health inspection team came to his restaurant, but seeing Adam had already reaped his karma, he finally forgave him. He then volunteered to join the chef team under Adam's guidance. After that, Adam took a walk to a street vendor to get some food. He was impressed with David, a cook for one of the street vendors there. David, who had long idolized Adam, seemed so happy when he received an offer to work with Adam. David gladly accepted the offer. The next day, Adam went to meet Helen. He explained his purpose to propose to Helene as his co-chef later. Since they didn't have the same vision and mission, and to put the cherry on top, Adam is stubborn and old-fashioned, Helene quickly refused his offer. Adam then met a restaurant critic named Simon Forth to carry out an impromptu inspection at Tony's restaurant. Adam did that so that Tony was willing to hand over the leadership position in his restaurant to Adam. It didn't take long before Simone came to Tony's restaurant. Of course, Tony was immediately at a loss. Adam then came to save Tony as well as to show off his cooking skills. How relieved Tony was when he saw Simone really enjoying her food. That night, Adam persuaded Tony to give him a second chance. He promised to bring success to Tony's restaurant. He was sure that 3 Michelin stars would be in his grasp. Considering Adam had saved the restaurant's reputation from harsh criticism, Tony finally agreed to entrust his restaurant to be taken over by Adam. The next day, Adam came to a rival restaurant named Reese. It seems that the owner, Montgomery Reese, had already received a 3 Michelin star. Adam, who didn't want to feel like a loser, then told him that soon, he would be standing on the same ground as Reese. He even provoked him by saying that his skill had been declining as time passed by. Feeling irritated after hearing what Adam said to embarrass him in public, he then told Adam to pay for all his orders. After that, Reese asked his waiter to find out all the updated information about Adam. In the afternoon, Adam went to pick up the last chef he would recruit. His name was Max. Max, who had just been released from prison, was happy to get this news, considering that he no longer needed to bother spreading job applications. After the chef team was formed, Adam and the team prepared their best to welcome the opening of the restaurant later. After a long preparation, the restaurant was officially opened. That day, the restaurant looked very busy. Helene, who just arrived, was immediately fired from her job. Helene, who needed to provide for her daughter as a single mother, couldn't help but eat her own words. She finally accepted Adam's offer to work under his leadership. The moment the restaurant was opened, Adam was suddenly surprised by the fact that his restaurant was deserted. No visitors came to the restaurant. It seemed that the news about his dark past spread in the newspapers. Knowing that made Adam angry. He closed the restaurant early and then scolded all of his team one by one, whom he considered incompetent.
I'm gonna give everybody who had dinner here tonight their money back.
Did you think that was a joke?
My fault. It's not perfect, you throw it away.
I'm not talking to you!
Fucking poison, you know that? You're a fucking infection. Get the...
He did not hesitate to scold Helene, who had arbitrarily ignored his orders. Helene then said that Adam's cooking style was outdated and couldn't catch up with her modern cooking style. Helene's words just now succeeded in igniting Adam's emotions to the point that he said Helene was a virus that only brought bad luck to the restaurant. Helene, who couldn't take it anymore, immediately resigned. Tony, who couldn't take it anymore, then came to meet Helene the next day to persuade her to return to her job. Tony explained that Adam's arrogant attitude was formed because he had a tough life since he was a child, where he felt life without the presence of his parents by his side. Thanks to Tony, Helene returned back to the restaurant like nothing had happened yesterday. Helene even brought modern cooking utensils and asked Adam to adapt to keep up with the times. After that, Adam and the other chefs got back into their busy life in the kitchen, welcoming the reopening of the restaurant. On that day, Tony's father, who is a restaurant critic, came to visit. The next day, the news of the restaurant having a good reception was published in the newspapers. The news reached Reese's ears, which made him very mad. Days passed with Adam and Helene spending it cooking and creating new menus for the restaurant. The relationship between them got closer each day and they looked so serious on their job. Finally, they managed to make a new food menu according to their expectations. One day, Tony gathered all the waiters to tell them that the Michelin assessment team could come at any time, so he asked them to always be on standby. Tony also explained the characteristics of the Michelin assessment teams, which always came in pairs, would order the main course and the desserts, and usually would put a fork on the floor for a reason only they know. In the evening, Helene asked Adam for permission to just take a day off on her daughter's birthday, Lily, but because the restaurant was always busy with customers, missing one chef would make them short-handed and Adam couldn't allow that. Of course, this made Helene secretly mad at him and vented her disappointment in the kitchen. Even though her heart was irritated, Helene still invited Adam to eat with the other chefs, but Adam, who liked to be alone, refused it. The next day, everyone in the kitchen ignored Adam. Suddenly, Tony came asking Adam to make a birthday cake, but he refused immediately. But when he found out that the cake was for Lily, who was having a birthday, Adam spontaneously changed his mind. After making the cake, he then brought the cake to Lily himself. At first, Lily felt scared and awkward with Adam. She even called him a fierce giant, but gradually, all the fear and awkwardness disappeared when Adam started joking with her, and it looked like Helene was happy to see them both. That night, Tony told Adam that Reese invited him to the reopening of his restaurant. Tony told Adam to come with someone to quell his anger if things didn't go right between him and Reese. Since Helene was the only woman that he knew, he decided to invite Helene as his partner to accompany him to Reese's restaurant reopening party. When he got there, Adam met his ex-girlfriend, which was also the daughter of Jean-Luc. Her name is Anne. Adam told her that now he was free from drugs. Things between them made those who used to be lovers become a stranger, and said that before his father, Jean-Luc, died, he wanted to give Adam his chef's knife, because, for him, Adam was the right person that deserved to be his successor. After that, Adam went to the market. His meeting with Anne kept him awake all night. Helene, knowing Adam's anxiety, tried to cheer him up by sharing the story of her breakup with her ex-husband. She had to go through the bitterness of divorce in order to live her life and also her only daughter. Adam then shed all the past regrets that always haunted him every time he remembered them. Apart from messing up his own life, Adam also destroyed the lives of many people, and that's why his mind was often full of lots of questions. But these past few days, for some reason, Adam always thinks of Helene instead of his regrets. On the way home, Helene also admitted that she felt the same way as what Adam felt toward her. Unfortunately, when they were about to kiss, a drug dealer appeared in front of them. Adam then told Helene to immediately go to the restaurant while he would go with the drug dealer. Upon arriving at the restaurant, Helene immediately asked Tony about what just happened. Apparently, Adam was in debt with the dealer. Tony told Helene not to worry about him, because Tony himself was sure that the only person who could kill Adam was Adam himself, which meant that Adam would survive no matter what. But seeing Adam not coming back, Helene became increasingly anxious. She kept looking for Adam here and there until finally, she found Adam with a battered face. When Adam was about to be treated, suddenly, the kitchen was shocked by the news saying that there were visitors who had the same characteristics as the Michelin assessment team. No matter how sore the wound was, Adam immediately rushed to prepare everything with the others.
Watching their own table, they got eyes on everything, so everything is...
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's right, that's a bit thick.
Sounds good.
Yes, sir.
Maintenant, hein?
Sir.
Yeah? Okay,
Yeah? Give eyes on the whole time, see?
Plates are clean.
Not long after, Tawny came back to bring back the food. Apparently, they refused the food because it was too spicy. Adam was the same. I didn't believe it at all, and I couldn't even believe that all of that was the work of Michel, who still held a grudge, but instead of exploding with anger, he instead laughed. Thanks to that incident, Adam had lost hope. He wondered if karma had finally come for him to remind him of what he had done in the past. He thought that this was the right time for him to throw away his dream of becoming a 3 Michelin star chef. Adam, who had lost hope, hobbled to Reese's restaurant. He poured out all his troubles that had been making his chest feel heavier. Adam finally tried to kill himself in front of Reese.
Dude, you gotta plug it in. Jack!
Reese, who saw that, tried his best to stop Adam from doing what he was doing. Adam finally let go of his tears and cried. In the morning, Adam woke up like a hangover person while Reese was busy making breakfast for him. Even though they had been rivals, Reese never wanted Adam to die in vain. He wanted Adam to get up and fight for his dream. He was sure that all of Adam's struggles so far would definitely pay off. After all, Adam was the one who put the fire in his heart to become the best chef. When Adam was going back to the restaurant, he once again met the drug dealer. Turned out, all his debts had been paid off by Anne. She said she did it only because she wanted to repay Adam's kindness so far. Before leaving, Anne handed over his father's knife to Adam. At the hotel, Adam was told by Tony that the one who came yesterday was not the Michelin assessment team but a salesperson who was stopping by to eat. After hearing that, Adam was so relieved. The hope that he almost lost finally came back to him. Helene then came to visit him. She told Adam that nobody can work alone, and so did he. He still had his team who were ready to help him. They have to embrace each other to be able to reach the success they all had dreamed of. After a few days passed, a waitress noticed the arrival of the Michelin assessment team, but who would have thought that this time, Adam received the news very calmly, so calm he asked his team to cook as usual because now, Adam believed that his team would always try to give the best. Tony came back and met Adam with a meaningful smile. Finally, Adam achieved his dream of getting a 3 Michelin star. He won it not because of his struggle on his own, but because of the hard work with his team, which Adam now began to consider as his own family.